Sarah Isom, political reporter from The Australian. Tell us about Mick Gooda's speech that he's delivering on Friday to the Aboriginal Press Club in Brisbane.
Well, Mick Gooda's not said a lot about the referendum and the voice, but on Friday he will. He'll talk about how this all went down. He'll say that he is angry, particularly at the Yes camp, for having a crash through or crash approach to the voice, and that the voice certainly crashed. He's still harbouring a lot of resentment about how it all went down. You might remember that he came to prominence last year when he made some comments about being worried that the voice would fail, only to be met with criticism from Noel Pearson that he was wetting the bed. So you can still see he's harbouring quite a bit of anger about how everything progressed, and makes a lot of comments about what could have been done better, particularly if a legislative voice should have been pursued instead of enshrining it in the Constitution.
Who is Mick Gooda and why is his opinion important?
He's a huge leader, an Indigenous leader in this space. He's a former Social Justice Commissioner. He led Royal Commissions. So he's got a lot of kudos behind him. And so his view is very important because he's been in this space for decades. He's well respected. He knows what he's talking about. He's a policy maker. He's working on truth and treaty in Queensland. So for him to come out and say this after being, very much in favour of a voice, he did have some criticisms last year, but in the end he was very firmly in the Yes camp. For someone in the Yes camp to be making some criticisms of others, whether that be the government or other advocates for the Yes campaign, it's pretty important.
And what is his opinion on what the government is doing at the moment as far as progressing Indigenous affairs since the failure of the voice?
Well, he's pretty scathing. He says that the government is caught in some form of paralysis, that they don't have a vision going forwards, and there's been some vague ideas talked about over regional and local voices, which he thinks is still a pretty good idea, and a bit of a focus on closing the gap, but no clear plan B, which he says is pretty disappointing.